Okay, welcome back everybody. This is JudiciousFire. I'm on iOS. Going to be taking a look at the game mode Infernal Summit 4. We're going to look at the heroes we're facing, what the battles look like. We're going to look at preferred building layouts, base layout, preferred heroes for the game mode, and the talents, insignias, and pets that are also preferred for getting through Infernal Summit 4. We're going to be having an update pretty soon. They're going to be selling igniting stones for breakthrough in the warehouse for fame, but still the only way to obtain the zenith, the red stones, the zenith stones, through any game mode in Castle Clash is by completing Infernal Summit 4. And it is a difficult game mode. I would say that the #1 difficulty is this. You have to get yourself 3 other players that are able to survive this game mode. So you need 4 very skilled players. You need to be in a high-level guild. We did that one very well. Okay, you see red crystals for 3 of us, but 5 igniting stones. 5 zenith stones for Nash. Waiting for another invite. In the meantime, I'll go back and I'll take a look at the setup I'm using in terms of base. We'll go back in and look at the heroes in a moment. Okay, I have 7 arrow towers laid out next to each other, and 1 row of walls that then turns at a 90-degree angle. I'm filling every space. My bases are moving upward toward the single arrow tower. So this is creating a top, if you will, where Anubis and Dimo Gorgon are, and a bottom that goes right to the edge of the screen. That's where Lava and Ashura are located. This is the preferred setup. Of course, you can always, move your wall around a little bit, but this is it. And you want to try to copy that setup if you're going to be running IS4. Okay. We wait for a 4th player to join us. In this game mode, we're going to be taking on some pretty advanced heroes, and they're going to be goblins, just like we would find in the labyrinth. Demons, very much like the archdemon. We're going to be taking on multiple Levanicas, Commodoras, Skeleticas. They're throwing everything at us but the kitchen sink here. There is a second difficulty in Infernal Summit 4. First difficulty was getting 3 other players with you on a routine basis. Unless you're in a high-level guild, that can be somewhat difficult. Getting 4 players together, including yourself, in order to complete the game mode. But there is a second difficulty, and that difficulty is building life. If we lose our buildings, we lose the game mode, even if all of our heroes survive. So keeping your buildings up, building 7 arrow towers, having, and I believe it goes up to level 30 or perhaps level 35, you've got to have fully maxed out towers. You've got to have fully maxed out hero bases. This is not something that you can do in the span of just a couple of weeks unless you're spending all your gems and have a ton of resources. So you've got to get working on doing that. I've never seen anyone use cannon towers or stun towers. So you can cut yourself back significantly on the amount of build time by simply concentrating on building and upgrading the arrow towers and the hero spaces. Quite frankly, the walls are insignificant and make no difference. So there are 5 buildings that you can. I'll pick the third. Yeah, all right. There are 5 buildings that you can upgrade. I'm looking at the bottom of the screen. You have an arrow tower. It goes to level 30. You have a stun tower, a cannon tower in the center, a hero's base, and walls. It will begin at level 1. Only concern yourself with the arrow towers on the far left. Get those to 30. And the hero base second from the right. Get that to 30. The rest is pretty much inconsequential. So that does save some time in the process of upgrading these things. Okay. You see that when we put our 4 teams together, it creates a little base. And that's another part of this preferred building and base layout. They come together like pieces of a puzzle to create a base with you and the 3 other players. This is a game mode where it is far, far better to look at it as in it being a collective effort. It is not your 6 heroes that are going to be beating Infernal Summit 4. It's the 24 heroes on the collective team that will be beating this game mode. So it's better to look at it as a team of 24 rather than just you, a team of 6. That can help in hero selection, picking heroes that work well with the other heroes that people bring into combat. Picking heroes that help to fill in little gaps that are missing in your overall team. It does require some coordination, not to the point where we actually have to be dialoguing with one another. Each one of us knows what we're supposed to be doing at this point, and we're able to just run the game modes. I lost Gunslinger. We're able to just run the game modes as they are without having to call spots or explain what has to happen next. Let me go 2 times speed. So we're able to do this, but it does require a limited number of heroes. These are going to be heroes that are some available through the gem rolling system. Others are available only through purchase. Bingo. All right. Very good. Let's go back in and let's take a look again at that base setup. This would be the same base setup that I would use if I were doing any phase of Infernal Summit, 1 to 4. It is good for all the Infernal Summit series. Let's go to Form Team. Okay, here we go. So one more look. We've got 7 arrow towers stacked up against one another. During this build process, you see I'm now about to manipulate this left wall, or left arrow tower. It can't go to the top, it can't go to the bottom. I'm filling in every square. The only remaining squares from this process are these here in the corner, and I'm filling them in with 2 small lines of wall. The hero bases, I'm moving it around right now. The hero bases go upward along the arrow towers, upward. You do not want to go sideways, horizontally. It's leaving too many heroes exposed to the edge of the screen. So what we want to do is have them moving upward along the arrow towers, just like that. I'm going to take a look at the hero placement, and then I'll look at the heroes specifically. I have, and just before I talk about my team, I just want to make this statement. Just like in lava, and I've stated this in lava videos, are there one or two heroes out there that would be better for this game mode? Yes, there are. But I'm trying to create a team that can do Infernal Summit 4 with anybody's team, where I'm able to gel with anybody that I choose to run this game mode with. Maybe their team has a tremendous amount of DPS, but not enough buffers. Well, we have buffers. If their team has a lot of buffers, maybe a reviver, but they are lacking in DPS, this team can take care of the DPS. So it's able to work well and fit with any other teams. So I have right here at the edge of the screen, and I'm going to back out just a bit so you can see it a little bit better. Right here at the edge of the screen where Levanica and Ashura are located. If you remember from the setup that we were running, that's exactly where the furthest edge of the screen is located. The bad guys can come from that edge of the screen and literally just appear on top of Lava and Ashura. Because of that, I have placed Lava and Ashura right there at the edge. Lava has a damage cap. Levanica cannot take more than a certain amount of damage, thereby I have him in that edge of the screen spot. Ashura reflects 50% of the damage that he takes. If I want anybody down there, it's Ashura. This way he can push back 50% of the damage from anybody who's coming up that side of the screen. I would say my two, and they're not weak, but I would say in terms of their survivability level, the two weakest heroes, survival-wise, I have placed in the center of this formation. That would be Gunslinger, and it would be Walla Walla. By placing them on these two bases in the center, I'm able to protect them and shield them with the other heroes. Right up in the front, closest to this 7th arrow tower, we have ourselves Anubis, who's a real survivor. The man's got 3 lives. And we have one of my favorites of all time, Dimo Gorgon. And I have my Dimo built in such a way that he is able to truly survive. So this is the go anywhere, work with anybody team. And you're not going to go wrong with this team, ever. There are 1 or 2 ways that you can go even better, but this is the team that's going to be able to fit with anybody else's. Let's look at those 6 heroes now individually. The very first of those heroes was Dimo Gorgon. I've got him with a Sacred Light. The only way Dimo's going to stay alive is if you run him defensively. You are looking for his blind. He can take care of 6 heroes at a time, basically knock out their accuracy. So Sacred Light, a survival so he can heal. I have him always paired with Piblob in order to reduce the accuracy of the enemy. That goes very well with his blind. Our second hero in IS4 is Anubis. I have Anubis, and I'm running him with Sacred Light, running him defensively. Okay, I'm not so interested in the damage that he does. I'm interested in him lowering the attack ability of the enemy. That's part of his skill. I have him with Reapster because Anubis gets 3 lives, and Reapster activates a summon sprite to fight alongside whenever the person using the pet dies. Well, Anubis dies 3 times, so you get a lot of use out of Reapster. It is essential that you have an Empower insignia on Anubis. If you don't have an Empower insignia for Anubis, then you shouldn't use Anubis, okay? He is there to globally auto-proc. He will auto proc or activate his skill automatically without being attacked if he has an empower. You need to have that happen. So that is an absolute firm must-do build. We have Gunslinger next. Gunslinger, I always run defensively. She's got her Sacred Light. She's got her Survival to stay alive. I typically pair her with Persilot in order to accentuate her negative impact on the enemy's energy. She reduces their energy, whereas Persilot reduces their ability to regain energy, their energy regain rate. Gunslinger is a global hero. Just like Anubis with the auto proc, Gunslinger is going to be affecting everybody on the board, all the bad guys. That's what you are looking for here in this game mode. I have Walla Walla. Walla for healing our team, as well as Walla to give us a big attack boost. Walla, just like Anubis, is an auto proc hero. So I am running him defensively with Sacred Light, but 100% needed. You have got to have an 8 in power insignia. Or whenever you're watching this video, knowing IGG, I'll say a level 11 insignia. They're going to keep adding levels. You've got to have as good an empower insignia as you can on Walla Walla. What that's going to do is allow him to heal the team, give us all an attack boost, and to keep doing it again and again and again, even when he's not under direct fire. You've got to have that. As far as we've got Phoenix, and Phoenix is going to reduce the movement speed of the enemy. I typically run Walla with Phoenix. It works very well because Walla also reduces the movement speed of the enemy. I'm stopping on Dovekeeper for just a moment. Dovekeeper is a hero that you cannot use in Infernal Summon 4. She is, I'd be so bold as to say she's the only hero that you can't use in Infernal Summit 4. I know it's sad. Dove is amazing. But what ends up happening is Dove will send out her love doves across the board, and then a big demon will come our way. And let's say there's a minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. And the demon will appear and start traveling toward our heroes to attack them. But Dovekeeper's love doves will hold the demon in place, and the demon will never get near our heroes. The demon will just be fighting love doves across the screen. The love doves don't have the ability to kill the demon, not on their own. The demon's got to come and make direct contact with our heroes, only now that's been made impossible by the fact that Dovekeeper's love doves have kept the demon at the edge of the screen. Thereby we time out, and it's game over. So you cannot use Dovekeeper. But you certainly can use Levanica. Levanica is a preferred hero for this game mode. In fact, I would say a very necessary hero. Out of the 4 of you playing, you might need 2, preferably 3, and better yet, all 4 of you have a Levanica somewhere in the mix. I'm running Levanica in terms of survival. Sacred Light, a survival insignia, Fennec Pet in order to provide the heals and the Psi Shield. Levanica is definitely preferred for this game mode. And I also use Ashura for the damage reflect, for the fact that he's got a great survival, the fact that he's got a very wide range in terms of his skill activation. He can hit enemies from many squares away. And he does a great job of being a wall or a shield right there at the edge of the screen where I have placed Levanica. I'm running him with Vital Boon, a survival insignia so he can heal, and I'm typically running him with Draco. I think that Draco does a great job in removing the enemy's energy, and Ashura, the moment the battle starts, Ashura is reducing the enemy's energy by 26 every second. So they work very well with one another. So those are the 6 heroes that I prefer to use. They work very well with any team. Now, here are some of the other heroes that I've seen in Infernal Summit, just to give you some more options. It's not going to be a lengthy list. I have seen being used Skeletica. Skeletica is an excellent hero to use for Infernal Summit 4. Skeletica has a global attack, meaning he's going to be able to fire directly across the screen and hit an enemy. That's what you want. You want to run him with a Sacred Light, something defensive to keep him alive. If I'm running him in Infernal Summit 4, I've never used him personally. I just always use that 6-person team I just showed you. But you would want to have an Empower. He's an auto-proc hero just like Walla Walla and Anubis. You've got to have him continuing to fire off. If I'm going to put him into battle, I would have him probably paired with Little Havoc, who does a great job at reducing attack speed and attack ability, whereas also Skeletica, based on his skill description. Let's see here. Okay, he removes the buffs of the enemy. So any bonuses that they're getting, once they get hit by a Skeletica, they lose that kind of attack bonus. Let's look for another hero that we might want to use. I guess the case could be made of putting in a Serena. I've never used her, but I don't think there would be anything wrong with that at all. You run her defensively, like a Sacred Light, Stone Skin. You've got her with a where are you? With a survival, so she can heal. In addition to the heal that she already produces, she can now get a double heal and keep her own health up. Maybe you run her with a healing pet of some kind, maybe like a mini Angie, to provide that reduction in damage as well as an extra heal. As far as her, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. Let me remove this survival. She is an auto-proc hero. So if I were using her in Infernal Summit 4, just like Anubis and Walla and Skeletica, I would run an Empower on her. What that's going to end up doing is every 3 seconds, she's going to give one hero 100% attack increase, a 60% damage reduction, and also restore that hero's health to 600% of her own attack. So basically completely heal that hero. And she'll do this every 3 seconds as long as her skill is continuing to activate. And it can with Empower because she is an auto-proc hero. So Serena would be very good. Serena is also, I think, undervalued as a sniper. She does 490% attack damage to 6 enemy heroes. Well, that's the whole enemy team in a normal, maybe Guild Wars scenario. So think about Serena. She's a member of my Evil 18, the best 18 in the game. I could make the case as well for Bogeyman. And you see the kind of pattern we're doing here. These are heroes that can hit anybody, anywhere on the screen, repeatedly. I would run him with an Unholy Pact. He is an auto-proc hero, just like the rest of the gang. And I would run him with an Empower. He's going to consistently and constantly be doing a heck of a lot of damage against the enemy. You put a punching box on him, and bingo. If you find his survivability to not be enough because he's got no survival insignia or survival-related talent, then you put something like a healing pet that you have not used on your team yet, such as like a Bublo. Whose Bublo's great. Restore 3 heroes' health every couple of seconds. It's great. And we continue. Okay, I'm going to pause at Lazulix. This is my own personal opinion. I know everybody's in love with their Laz. You know, it's like a brand new sports car. Okay, it's a fantastic thing. It's a beauty, a sight to behold. Lazulix, in my opinion, is a poor hero to use in Infernal Summit. Also, a poor hero to use in Lava, in the team mode Lava. The reason is Lazulix has 2 things working against him. Number 1, he is not a hero that attacks anybody globally. The enemy has to be right up in his face for him to be actually doing that enemy enough harm to kill a demon in an Infernal Summit or a Lava game mode. So the enemy's got to be right up on him. Whereas like a Walla, Anubis, Serena, Skeletica, Bogeyman, Lavanica, Gunslinger, Dimo Gorgon, they all can attack anybody, anywhere on the board. They have a huge range in terms of their skill ability, and they can affect the whole screen. Lazulix can't do that. There's another thing about Laz. When he puts that freeze out, that ice shield that grants him invulnerability, when that ice shield is in effect, he can't move. He can't attack. He can't use his skill. He just sits there doing nothing while this big shield is around him. Well, Infernal Summit has damage capped demons and goblins. Lava has damage capped demons and centaurs. So you need a hero that's constantly attacking, a hero with high DPS or high hits per second, somebody who can attack quickly and attack globally. Lazulix can do neither. So I tend to see him more as a detriment to the overall team than anything else. And I would say that's about it. So maybe we mentioned 10 heroes. You're going to need to choose currently in the game from among those 10. Any other hero is going to be either vaporized immediately because he or she or it doesn't have enough health, or they're just going to stand there doing relatively nothing and not helping your team in any way. That's going to get you killed. So let's take a look at IS4 a few more times, I'm sure. We can go into it and also see how the new update that's coming influences these game modes. I appreciate you tuning in, and good luck in IS4, and I'll catch you later. All right, see ya. Bye-bye.